Welcome to the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast.
This podcast is brought to you by Jarvis S. Scott, Alabama licensed life and health agent. Hello everyone, this is Jarvis S. Scott with What's Happening Birmingham. Today I have the honor and pleasure, and many people in Birmingham know this man. I like to call him one of the original Versus people. Bernard Buzz, if y'all remember back in the day when him and Logan did a face-off, you all did the Versus for anybody.
Yeah, man, that was back. Ooh, boy, you went back, man.
Yeah.
Back at Carver Theater, me and Logan did. We did a versus battle on stage at the Carver Theater. That was an epic moment.
Yeah. And Logan, y'all want to do it again? Y'all call me. We'll promote. We'll roll that thing back do it for 2023. But the reason why I want to bring Bernard on today is he is the owner of Cornerstone Funeral Services and Cremations. So good morning, Bernard. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Before we start off, people who don't know who you are, I know I talked about your musical career, but kind of give people in Birmingham like a quick little bio real quick.
I'm a retired fire lieutenant. I worked on the fire department 24 years. Been an entrepreneur for years. Worked in different things with inflatables, game trucks, real estate, you name it, I probably did it. But just had a desire to continue my service from fire department to the death care industry. Okay, so how did you get into? I know, because I think you probably say being in the fire and rescue business, being first responder, and thank you for your years of service in that. Like a young man, don't even look like you're supposed to be retired yet. So how did you decide, like, I want to get into this industry? Back in '93, when I got out of the military, I wanted to do it then. Mm-hmm. But as an apprentice, they weren't really paying enough for me to survive. So the idea just lingered back. And once I got on the fire department, time went by, and I actually started working at the station right across the street.
Oh, yeah.
I worked at Station 28 for about 6 or 7 years, noticing that the lot over here had been empty, and tried to inquire about it. It had been for sale for a while. So I inquired about the lot to see what they wanted for it. But we did what you call a pre-incident plan, and we did a walkthrough at the funeral college, school of funeral college up here at Jeff State. And I had a conversation with the program coordinator and asked him about the program, and I ultimately enrolled and finished. And once I finished, got into it and started doing trade embalming at different funeral homes, and did a brief stint at a corporate funeral home, and decided that I wanted to do my own.
Well, congratulations, man, for kind of stepping out and doing it. Yeah. One thing I always like to ask entrepreneurs, why did you come up with the name Cornerstone?
All right, so this corner lot.
Oh, okay.
This corner lot is vacant, and when you stand on this corner lot, you can look down the hill and see all the businesses. So a lot of that incorporated into the design. If you see the stones on the front of the facing with the arch and stuff, and it's on the corner. So my goal is to actually be the cornerstone of this community. Okay. And also inspire other entrepreneurs to come to this area to buy some of this property and possibly start their own business. Okay.
And tell people where you're located.
2416 Carson Road, Birmingham. I'm on the corner of Carson and Sun Hill Road, across from Chevron and Fire Station number 28.
Okay. So the reason why I want to bring Bernard on, of course, talk about his business, but I want to also do like a shameless plug. But this podcast is brought to you by yours truly. As you all know, I made a decision on my social media. I renewed my life and health insurance license. So if you would like to have life insurance after watching this video, please give me a call at 205-527-0416. You're probably going to see the little leather training before this interview even starts. But, okay, so I want to kind of walk me through this process.
Okay.
So, I call you, my loved one passed away. What happens next?
All right, when your loved one passed away, if it's at the house, if you're at home, first thing you should do is call the police.
All right.
The police will then notify EMS. They will come in and they'll do their assessment and get the call to the hospital so they can have a time pronouncing your loved one deceased. That information is vital for getting the death certificate that we ultimately start and get done. After you get that information and get that to the police and they come and get your case card, so you have that, then you call funeral home your choice, preferably Cornerstone. When you make that call to us, we're going to get some information, and what we'll do is we'll send our removal team to take your loved one into our care. While I'm there, which I probably would be the one to go as well, I will ask the family member who's actually the authorizing person if they would want cremation or if they would want a burial or funeral. So at that time, that determines if I will embalm. So as soon as I take the body into my care, I bring them back and I immediately start to embalm the body.
And I guess for people that embalm, once embalmed, you gone.
Yeah.
there's no coming back like you see the movies. It's like the Undertaker. They just kind of come up at the funeral. It's done. It's done.
That's it.
So after that, you have the body care. What's kind of the next steps after that? Because I know you mentioned when we was kind of talking about about the whole arrangement conference.
Yeah. So what we'll do after that, depending on the time of day, we'll call you back and find a time that's convenient for you to come in and make the arrangements. We will send you a list of things to remember, clothing, certain vital information, parents' name, parents' mother's maiden name, things of that nature that's important for their death certificate, because that's a very important document for you to have. It gives you an opportunity to close accounts and handle all of the businesses. Also, it gives you a chance to redeem the funds from a life insurance policy, because most of them require that death certificate. We let you know all of that stuff and what we would need with clothing, like I said, to bring it in. And then once you come in and you have all of that, then we can start put the arrangements and stuff together. Okay,
I know you all are watching. Since I mentioned the word arrangement conference. When does the whole thing about payment, when that come into the process?
Typically, we expect payment at the time of the arrangement, but it is absolutely required no later than 2 days before the service.
So if I have a life insurance policy per se, that you just basically just give you the life insurance company?
Well, yeah, you can give me their information, and what we do at that point is called an assignment. So typically, if you have a life insurance policy that has X amount of dollars on it, we will call the insurance company, verify that the account is good, submit to them the statement of services and goods, and they would just let us know if there's enough in the policy to cover it. They don't tell us how much the policy is, for privacy reasons.
I'm glad you dispelled that, because a lot of times people be like, well, if a funeral home person, if they know I got 75,000 pounds, they're going to try to give me a $25,000 funeral.
No, those days are gone. That's actually a violation of the law. You do that. So you basically, when you come in, you have a general price list of all your prices that you have, of the services that you offer, and also third-party services like flowers, doves, and things of that nature that we don't provide at specifically ourselves.
Okay, well, let's go back. You said you're breaking down, of course you said Cornerstone Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Kind of tell me the pros and cons as far as the funeral, the cremation, or you even mentioned that you can actually do both.
Yeah, well, it's really, I don't think there's any cons to it. It's personal choice.
Okay.
It's personal choice. And in my opinion, I think that is something that you should sit down and discuss with your family as far as your final disposition. If you want to be cremated or if you want to bury you, just talk with your family. See what will help them with the grief. You got what I'm saying? So if burial will, and we have financing options. We have companies that will finance these funerals. They can pay for it up to 5 years if you have to.
Oh, okay. So when you mentioned about as far as the cremation process is, does that begin, I guess in so many words, like say if we do the embalm, the arrangement conference, usually when the cremation process begins, if you don't burn and have, like you said, you want to do a formal burial?
Well, you have to wait at least 24 hours after death before you can have a person cremated.
All right.
You have to get there because cremation is fine.
Okay.
You know, I can embalm you and you can change your mind and say, well, I don't want a funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I want a cremation, but you can't cremate and say, well, you know, I want to have a funeral now because it's not possible. So that's part of that. But we try to make sure that we give the families what they desire to have.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to provide a service. If we provide that service for you, we hope that you are pleased with the service.
Mm-hmm.
And you will actually, you know, just tell other people about your experience with us.
Okay, one thing I do love about your building is almost like it's a one-stop shop, because we're going to do a tour after this. That's going to be part 2 of the interview, where we're going to do a tour of the facility. Yeah. You have your own chapel here.
Yeah, so every funeral home is required to have a chapel by law. So they have a chapel in there. And you can have the services here, or you can have them at a church or any other facility that you know deem necessary to have that service at.
All right. One of the things I think we talked about, you know, one time is things like scattered cremated remains. Kind of explain that. All
right. So basically, what that is the cremated remains is left over after cremation.
Okay.
We have a service that, if you want to have it on a yacht, so we have a yacht company down in Gulf Shores that performs what you call scattering services.
Okay.
So what we would do is typically get up to 10 family members. We'd drive down to the Gulf and have the service performed on the yacht. So basically what it is you can either have each individual family member have what you call a scattering tube, to where you can equally divide the remains up in there, and they can all scatter them with flower petals and stuff of that nature. Part of the service, if you would have a minister or what you call a celebrant to conduct the service, and you would probably just tell fun stories about that person while we're on there. And you know, we go out, and once we come back, we drive back. Now the family en route is typically done around sunset, so they like to do it around sunset. So you know, you come in here, photographers take pictures or video it or whatever.
Okay. Well, I want to get into the meat potatoes. I know you all probably the number one question that a lot of people view and watching is like, how much does an average funeral cost in 2023?
So when you're talking about cost, there's two sides to it. You can get what's actually required or what's necessary. Now you can run my funeral services. I have a direct cremation service where I just cremate the body and I return your remains to you in a temporary container. That service starts at $1,125. Okay,
I'm gonna tell y'all this too. I know YouTube is forever, but inflation, we live right now, the price may change. So don't call him years later. So remember that $100 you mentioned? I just want to say that. Go ahead.
But yeah, we started that with those, and then I do have cremation services with cremation with memorial service. I have a funeral with a cremation, and typically my prices run, but they start at about $5,500.
Okay.
You know, so once you add on to it, then you know you're adding stuff like you want to add the limo or the sprinter or sprays, flowers, and stuff like that. Doves, you know, any additional things is additional cost. Your memorial folders and stuff like that. You can run it up to whatever you want to, but like I said, mine started. You can get a funeral completed for about $5,300 here.
Okay. And then you all have to think about this, like you said, as far as payment. And a lot of times, one thing we know that's, I guess, assured of his life is death and taxes.
Yes.
But we at least know with death is the one thing you can plan for. And I guess it's the one event in your life that you won't be here. Your body be here, but your spirit won't be here, depending on what your religion is. But how can, you mentioned to me something about pre-planning guide.
So I have what you call a personal planning guide. This planning guide, you can go on my website and request a copy of it. Basically what it is you're going through this book with your family, and y'all sitting down and you're writing down, you got service preferences, different people that you want to speak at the service, different things that you want, everything that you would want to have, where you want to be buried, organizations to contact, people to contact. You put your military service in it. If your will is in there, your estate information, all of your financial information. So what that financial information includes is the authorization for someone to close those accounts.
Okay.
You know, to help you do that. Social media accounts. You can write all of that stuff on there, which, like we said, online profiles, to where you can shut down those social media sites if you like. And this is something that you do at home with your family.
Okay.
And when you complete it, it's not a rush. You complete it, and once you complete that, if something should happen to that individual, y'all have already sat down and agreed to everything before that. So it kills the confusion in the conference room of bickering. You got what I'm saying? And it helps give what that person wants, and then everyone is agreeing. So when they come in, it's like, this is what they wanted to do, and I go by that book, and just to make it simple.
Okay, yeah, and the great thing I love about it, I guess y'all watching this video, I think this was the last week that all the newspapers here statewide pretty much ended printing, and one of the reasons why people used to love the newspaper, because everybody would look at the obituaries.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned is you put that on your website now?
Yeah, I put the obituaries on my website at no cost. So basically what it does is, if you want people to see it, it will push traffic to the website.
Okay.
And they can have it. And it'll stay up there. I don't plan on ever taking them down, but if it's something in the system that kicks it out, I'll make sure that I keep those obituaries on there. Because sometimes people may want to go back after the anniversary of the death just to look at it again online. You know?
Okay, so I know we got thousands of funeral homes here in Birmingham, statewide. Why should people, I was just looking at the camera, choose Cornerstone Cremation?
Well, we are a new funeral home. We have a new, I'm gonna say, I wanted to bring a new approach to the feel of a funeral home. As you can see, the decor, and you'll get to show them when we do the walkthrough. But it's just, we didn't have a funeral home in this district.
Okay.
In District 1, we didn't have a funeral home in this district. So I saw that there were a need to do it, to have somebody in the community that wants to help the community. I really want to educate the community about the funeral process.
Okay.
You know, that's what I want. I will, you know, I'm open from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday by appointment. But feel free to come by at any time. We can sit down and discuss this with no pressure. I won't take all your information if you don't want me to, but I'll give you mine. So whenever you feel that you want to talk about it, you can call me. I won't bug you about it. So if I don't have your information, I'll just get your name, but I won't contact people. I don't like to contact people because I don't want them to think that I'm trying to sell them.
Okay.
You see.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, like, I wish you all can kind of see, you got different style of funeral programs, and you pretty much got everything almost to a one-stop shop to most things, you know, like you said, like the doves and things like that, you may have to like subcontract out and everything. Is there anything, I know we covered a lot in this, you know, interview that you want to say that hasn't been mentioned about, you know, or some things you've been noticing lately with clients or questions clients have for you when they come in?
It's just like, you know, like with the pre-arrangements, they may have the question of if we pre-arrange you, we spend our money, but you know, if you go out of business, what happens to our money? Well, that money is protected through a trust bank that's designated by the Department of Insurance. Okay. So all of that stuff is protected through them. We don't physically keep your money for your pre-arrangement. It gets sent to that bank, and they are actually the stewards of that money. So other than that, I just want, you know, just to be open. It's kind of taboo that we don't talk about death at the table or whatever. But I think it's like a will. You only make a will once, and the only time you change it is if the beneficiary should pass away or the beneficiary should change. And I think that if we start doing it at home, I think this approach with my personal planning guide is a door to open so you can be discussed at home. And if you look at the book, it's a fairly decent graphics are great in it. I had someone to do it, but the graphics are great in it, and it's
really nice, and it leaves. I mean, you covered pretty much all the bases of everything. And like you said earlier, look at it as like, gosh, I hate the word to say. I mean, just one of your lasting things. Why you talking about the will, talking about your funeral. Now, the key thing I always tell people, and like I said again in this video, is that's important to have a life insurance, because that is the key driver that comes back to set everything, because first thing happens if someone passes away, the first biggest cost you're going to make, other than paying their other final bills, but the immediate bill is going to be the burial expense. Yeah. So if you can, I have several different policies to choose from, or even, I want you to use me, but even he has different ones to choose from too, that it's just about paying in advance is always less expensive to pay in advance for this than pay, because the cost is, like, even though he listed his cost, there's a lot of unexpected things, and like you said, if you want, different little bells and whistles to go with it, because you may, even like down to what outfit you want to be buried in.
Yes. Yeah.
You may have some people, Alabama, Auburn, they may want to have a Bama hat on, or Auburn hat on, or whatever they'll be buried with.
Yes.
And different things like that. I'd be remiss not to mention, we got something behind us. Do you want to tell people what that sign is behind them?
That's the greatest return in the world. Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Well, shout out to the chapter. What chapter?
Birmingham alumni.
Okay. So what's the phone number, website, man? Everyone get in contact with you?
Phone number is 205-949-9500. The website is www.cfs-c.com. We're available 24 hours. Even when we're closed, we have phones be answered all the time, and we actually respond and answer our phone calls.
Okay. Because I got to think about it too, like if someone passed away, unfortunately at 2 or 3 o'clock at night. Yeah. Gotta have somebody. Just thought about it. It's almost like you're in line the same way with the emergency,
Yeah. So I'm still kind of geared. I just retired back in June last year, but my head, I'm still geared to just get up at the spur of the moment and do what I have to do.
Okay, and I promise my last question. I always like to ask business entrepreneurs, what's one thing that keeps you up at night thinking as far as about your business?
I try not to let nothing keep me up.
All right.
I believe in God, and I pray for everything to happen like it's happened, and it has. So I don't worry, man. Okay. I'm protected.
All right, well, and I like that word, protect.
Yeah.
And by getting life insurance, meeting with him early, getting this out the way, you will protect yourself, you protect your loved ones, because one of the biggest things is the best way to know how a person really loves you is what they leave you with.
Yes.
Not how they with you, is when they're no longer here. So, like I said, part 2, we're going to do a great tour around this facility, so stay tuned for the second version. Thank you all for watching this video. Please check out what'shappenedbirmingham.com for more interviews. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check out the audio version of this interview on Apple Podcasts. Thank you all again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the What's Happening Birmingham video podcast. Please check out our website or subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest videos today.